Your presence here is not an accident. Trust the feeling that keeps encouraging you to search for answers. This message did not come to you because of a mistake or simple chance. Deep within yourself, you have been looking toward the future. Maybe for days, weeks, or even months, you have been waiting for a sign, a confirmation, something that could finally bring peace to the storm inside your heart. You have carried this burden quietly, keeping it hidden from the world because you feared that others would not understand. You stayed silent because you did not want to hear that you were imagining things, overthinking everything, or holding on to something that was never real. Yet the quiet voice within you has remained stronger than any opinion from the outside world. It has stayed with you early in the morning and late at night. It has followed you through every silent moment. It continued to whisper even when you tried not to hear it. It kept asking for your attention. Even when you filled your life with distractions and responsibilities, the feeling remained. You did not create this feeling. It is something genuine trying to rise to the surface. But consider this for a moment. What if this feeling that refuses to leave is not a burden at all? What if it is a message from your soul, gently guiding you towards something important? What if the reason it stays with you is not because of wishful thinking or longing, but because it comes from a deeper place within you, a place that already understands what your mind is only beginning to realize? Today, a higher awareness wants to offer you a calm but truthful confirmation of something you have sensed for a long time, but have been hesitant to fully accept. Out of fear, caution, and old emotional wounds, you chose to ignore your inner knowing. You convinced yourself that what you felt was too powerful, too sudden, or too intense to be real. Yet despite every effort to suppress it, the truth continued to return. The universe understands that you need to hear this message so you can move forward with greater clarity. What you are about to understand will help explain why your soul reacts so strongly to this person. It will help explain why the connection feels different from anything you have experienced before. It will help explain why the bond feels meaningful, even across distance. It will help explain why the silence between you never feels empty, but instead feels filled with meaning and presence. Your intuition, that inner guide that has always tried to lead you in the right direction, refuses to disappear, even when your logical mind tries to convince you otherwise. There is a reason you cannot simply let this go. There is a reason your heart responds before your thoughts have a chance to catch up. Listen closely. What follows may help you understand why this love that moves you so deeply carries a meaning greater than you have imagined. This is not simply a random meeting. It is not an ordinary coincidence. What you are experiencing is recognition at the level of the soul, a deep resonance that reaches beyond physical attraction and beyond ordinary understanding. It touches the very path you are meant to walk. It is the echo of something your soul remembers, even though your mind struggles to explain it. You have tried to interrupt it. You have tried to distract yourself from it. You have tried to close the door on it completely. You have attempted to analyze it logically and explain it away. Yet every effort has only made the feeling stronger. The reason is simple. What rises from the soul cannot be silenced by the mind. Something beyond ordinary reasoning continues pulling you back to the same realization. The feeling that this person entered your life for a reason remains at the center of everything. The universe wants you to know that you are not losing your mind. You are not confused, and you are not inventing stories. What you feel comes from a place much deeper than surface emotions. It comes from the space where a higher power communicates with your spirit. When you stop listening only with your ears and begin listening with your soul, you begin to understand that this is not a fantasy created by desire. It is connected to a deeper truth within you. But how can you know the difference between real love and simple longing? This question continues to return to your thoughts. Are you truly connected to this person, or are you simply attached because of emotional needs and old wounds? The mind, shaped by past pain and fear of disappointment, will often label strong feelings as dangerous or irrational. It tries to protect you in the only way it knows. It creates doubt. It creates caution. It creates fear. Yet a soul connection leaves signs that cannot easily be copied or mistaken. These signs come from the deepest and most authentic part of who you are. The first sign is a feeling of peace. When another person is connected to your soul's path, you experience an unusual calmness, even when they are not physically present. You do not constantly feel abandoned. You do not live in panic. Instead, you feel a quiet certainty, a deep stillness that comes from recognition. The deepest part of your being understands that the connection is safe. It understands that what exists between you is not destroyed by silence or distance. The connection itself remains untouched. This feeling of peace is your intuition, reminding you that what is truly meant for you cannot simply disappear. Distance becomes a place of learning and growth. It pushes you to face your deepest fears. The fear of being abandoned, the fear of being alone, the fear of not being good enough. As long as these fears remain inside you, you will continue attracting situations that reflect old wounds rather than your true self. This pause exists to break that cycle. It is meant to bring your hidden shadows into the light, not to hurt you, but to help you become free. It is the universe gently reminding you to fill your own heart first. Find your sense of wholeness within yourself. Only then can this love return in its highest and purest form. The moment you begin stepping into that wholeness, the energy connecting you starts to change. It grows stronger. It becomes clearer. Everything begins to align because destiny is not asking you to sit and wait. It is asking you to evolve. You are not standing still. You are being prepared for something greater. As this inner foundation develops inside you, as your wounds meet healing and your strength expands into a brighter version of yourself, there is something important you must understand. The work you are doing is not happening only on your side. Even if you cannot see it, even if you cannot feel it, even if the silence from the other person feels empty and endless. The same universal force that is shaping you is also shaping them. Their path reflects your own, not in details but in depth, not in timing but in purpose, not in outward actions but in inner transformation. This awakening is never one-sided. The same energy waking you up is also waking them up. Their experience may simply look different from yours. While you seek understanding, they may be resisting it. While you trust your intuition, they may be fighting theirs. While you move closer to faith, they may be sinking further into fear. You are stepping into growth willingly. They may be pulled into growth whether they want it or not. Yet the process continues because destiny never waits for permission. It moves both souls toward alignment. What appears to be distance from them is not peace. It is struggle. What seems like indifference is not forgetting. It is avoidance. They have become exhausted from pretending they are unaffected, tired of convincing themselves that what they felt was temporary or meaningless. Their ego created stories to protect them. It meant nothing. I am fine without this. It was only bad timing. I do not feel the same anymore. But the universe does not allow deep soul connections to stay buried beneath false narratives. Destiny removes every escape route. It breaks apart the distractions they used to hide behind. It dissolves the comforts they relied on to avoid the truth. It makes silence louder than ever before. Memories become sharper. The very things that once comforted them now reflect the truth they have been running from. This is why, even though they remain quiet, their inner world has become louder than ever. They are dealing with thoughts they cannot stop, feelings they cannot explain away, a connection they can no longer control. The distance they created to feel secure has become the exact place where truth echoes the strongest. Their ego has always been their greatest shield. It fears surrender. It fears vulnerability. It fears uncertainty. It remembers past pain and refuses to enter anything it cannot predict. But soul connections do not ask for predictions. They ask for honesty, and honesty frightens the ego. So the ego builds walls, while destiny slowly tears them down. The universe is now using silence to dismantle those walls piece by piece. They are finding it harder and harder to escape the way they once did. The people who once brought comfort now seem distant. The activities that once kept them occupied now feel empty. Again and again, they experience moments where your memory appears without warning. Not as longing, but as recognition. Not as fantasy, but as truth. The universe reaches them in ways they cannot fully explain. A dream, a song, a sudden thought arriving at the exact moment you are thinking of them. A shift in emotion, a flash of understanding that refuses to leave. They try to hold tightly to logic, yet their intuition keeps interrupting with thoughts of you. This is not obsession, it is alignment. Their soul understands what their mind continues to resist. They are not silent because they forgot you. They are silent because they remember too much. They remain quiet because their ego is losing its grip. They remain quiet because the emotions they buried have grown roots too deep to ignore. Silence is not where they rest, it is where they struggle. This inner conflict, this dark night of the ego, is necessary. Without it, they would return unchanged. Without it, they would repeat old patterns. Without it, they would come back carrying the same fears, the same walls, and the same hesitation. The universe is allowing them to break apart internally, so that when they return, those walls no longer stand between you. This is why silence should never be mistaken for absence. It is preparation. This person is being transformed from within. Their fears are coming to the surface. Their pride is being softened. Their old ways are being cleared away. Destiny is refining them just as it is refining you. Not gently, but truthfully. Both of you are standing near an important turning point. A moment when both souls begin releasing resistance. A moment when understanding starts overcoming confusion. A moment when fear slowly loses its grip. This turning point is not measured by time. It is measured by readiness. It is measured by alignment. They are moving closer to the moment when the pain of life without you becomes heavier than the fear of returning. When that moment arrives, their action will not be impulsive. It will not fade quickly. It will not come from loneliness or simple nostalgia. It will come from surrender. The surrender of ego to the truth of the connection. Their return will not be half-hearted. It will come from genuine inner growth. A confession, a release of pride, an acceptance that they can no longer ignore what lives within them. A realization that the connection they tried to escape is the very one they were meant to embrace. As this turning point approaches, the universe brings your attention back to yourself. Take a moment. Breathe deeply. Allow your soul to speak. What sign have you noticed most often about this person? Perhaps it is a dream that continues returning, a memory that appears unexpectedly, a repeating number, a song that arrives at moments that seem too perfect to be random, a message from the world around you that refuses to be ignored. These signs are not accidents, they are messages, they are alignment. They are the universe guiding you toward understanding. Whatever sign continues to stay with you, trust it. Notice it. Speak it aloud. Signs that bring peace come from destiny. Signs that create fear come from the ego. Your intuition already knows the difference. You are not imagining this connection. You are not holding on to an illusion. You are not hoping without reason. What you feel is real. And what is real is moving on both sides. Things are awakening. Feelings are rising to the surface. Understanding is forming. Truth is emerging. Everything is moving toward a single moment that destiny has already prepared. A moment capable of changing everything.